What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZCSH for Hogster today. We're also going to be going over BCHG and LTCN at the request of nobody, even though we talked about them last night, but I am going to talk about them today as well just for you guys because it is the request day. For those of you that don't know, I am only doing requests now on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Going forward, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So if you request a coin, a stock, a Grayscale Trust on Friday or Saturday, won't get to it until Sunday. I will note it. I will go through. I respond to your comments. I will note it. They're important to me. You guys, your requests are important to me. I want to keep those going, hopefully forever, as long as I possibly can. But the idea is to never get rid of requests. But this will enable me to have 4 days off where I can still tend to requests. You know, some requests that I think might be more significant. They might need more of an explanation, a more in-depth kind of analysis or video. Maybe there's a specific coin or a specific stock or a specific idea of things that you guys want me to go over that's outside the norm of these little run-throughs on technical analysis that I do for the most part. So that'll free up a lot of time because, guys, these request videos, not the Grayscale Trust specifically. I mean, sometimes depends on how many there are, but those altcoin request videos, man, they take up a lot of time. And you know, I put about 3 hours to 4 hours into this channel every day. Maybe not into videos specifically, but into replying to comments, keeping up with things, checking on the Discord. You know, I BS. That BSing in the Discord maybe doesn't count so much as like work, but I also do make videos every day for about, I would say, at least 2 hours, if not 3 hours. Sometimes more than that, but and even more than that if I just continue to ramble on and talk. So just going forward, guys, Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, those will be the days that I do requests. Unless I think something important is going on, you know, in which case on the non-request days I will go over what I think is worth talking about that day. You know, that's kind of the idea. So looking at ZCSH, a little bit of a pullback. Yes, you have a lower low in your daily RSI while promoting a higher low. That's a hell of a wick. It kind of looks like a double top. I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way it looks. Not gonna lie, I don't like it. And you're below your 618. I don't like that. Let's see what Zcash looks like. Zcash kind of looks good, actually. What was it at on Friday here? Let's see. That might have been it. Yeah, okay. I bet ZCSH pulls up next week. Because that's a nice recovery. Yeah, Zcash looks like it wants to go higher, guys. So ZCSH probably goes higher too. It's not always the case, right? Sometimes you see the Grayscale Trust go down while the native asset goes up. Sometimes the native asset goes down and the Grayscale Trust goes up. It's less common, but it happens. They are pretty correlated. They are very correlated, I would even say, but they're not 100% correlated 100% of the time. Forgive the mess, actually, over there. I forgot about that. I left that out for a different video. Elijah, if you're in this one, they're still up for you. I forgot. I have to take it down, man. You got a little. What is that? What is that flashing right there? You have to guess. You have to guess. You don't have to guess, but if you'd like to. Zcash, looking like it wants to go up higher. ZCSH. Hit that like button, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't already. Talk about Grayscale Trust all the time. I had a couple people, it seemed like in the comments you guys were a little bit worried if I would talk about Grayscale regularly still. And absolutely, man. Grayscale Trusts are a very big part of crypto. And a lot of you like the Grayscale Trust, right? And request it. I mean, I'm a... What's the word I'm looking for, man? I'm a servant of my audience, and if my audience likes Grayscale Trust, I don't care if I have 5,000 subscribers and 100 of you like Grayscale Trust. I will talk about it, right? So I'm a servant to my audience. If you guys like them, absolutely, we will continue. I will probably make at least, like, I will talk about Grayscale Trust at least 3 days a week, probably every week for the rest of my life. So that's just where my head's at with that. In no way, shape, or form do I expect the regular videos to go diminish. It just might not be every day. But ZCSH, with the idea that Zcash itself is going up, you might be making a move up. This, instead of being a bad look, perhaps it was just like a slip to the upside and it's more of a foretelling of what's to come. You're going to see 1073 to 1281, maybe next week, maybe over the coming weeks, but looking like you want to move up for sure. Get above $7.70. I'd like to see you do that next week. And that would look really good, yeah. I don't mind the daily RSI. I don't mind this kind of setup you have here. The real issue I had at first was this day here, but these are Grayscale trusts. They have less liquidity, less volume, you know. For anybody that doesn't know, liquidity and volume, they are essentially the same thing, right? Liquidity technically is volume along with potential volume. It's like what's in the order books, right? But part of what's traded also is part of the liquidity, I'm pretty sure, where volume is just that part of what's traded. But essentially volume, and it's the same thing. You can't like have high volume with low liquidity. I suppose you could if one person bought a lot, then sure, I suppose. But I guess you could, but low volume, low liquidity, they tend to run together. High volume, high liquidity tends to run together. I suppose there would be scenarios where you could have them offsetting, but it'd be like for a day you'd have high volume, but then predominantly low liquidity, and then the next day or a week later that volume would go back to low if you have low liquidity. But volume and liquidity are essentially the same thing. Technically they're different. This is just a little side piece for anybody who's confused or learning the terminologies of things, because you hear liquidity and you're like, oh yeah, I know what liquidity is. Yeah, everybody says liquidity, right? We want liquidity. Liquidity is good, right? That it allows me to be liquid, right? Some people just don't know, and if you don't know, essentially when people talk about liquidity, treat it as the same thing as like volume. That's essentially what it is. Like genuinely, it's just like the volume in the order books, essentially. Like what is available to be traded. It's the volume. It really is the volume. In my opinion, it's the volume. Where volume is the liquidity that has been traded. And maybe I'm saying that wrong. Maybe I'm not by the book. Someone can roast me in the comments and correct me. I encourage it. Tell me where I'm wrong. Give me the proper definition if I'm not doing a good enough job at it myself. But that's what liquidity is. It's essentially volume. I'm talking and repeating myself. You look good. You look really good. You know, other than that day there, which threw me off a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I actually do like this bounce off the 1618. Probably do go higher. I like the daily RSI, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Zcash looks good. BCHG now. BCHG. It looks really good. If you reject from here, that would not look really good. But you're going to have a good week next week, guys. BCHG is going to open up with a wick to the, or a gap to the upside. On Friday, BCH closed its day. Let's see, hold on. I'm curious, actually. What would it be? I would need it on the hourly, actually. Go all the way back to Friday. Okay, so this for me is 6 o'clock my time. The stock market closes at 2. So I would need to go back 4 hours, which is at the 20. So BCH was here at about 4:12 when BCHG closed. Okay. After hours for BCHG, BCH pumped all the way up from 4:12 to 4:30. We're all the way at 486 now, right? BCHG has some catching up to do, you guys. And yes, BCH can move up and BCHG can move down, but I think you're going to have a gap up this week. Oh, I'll be right back, guys. My daughter's crying. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Not sorry about that. Hey, the music was playing. That's great. I'm sorry. I did not mean to leave the music on that whole time. I forgot. But hey, at least it was on for the time that I was gone. Yeah, BCHG, you guys, looking frisky. Once higher, once more. 1320, 1550, somewhere around there. You're going to see some nice. I mean, dude, you're probably just moving up all the way up to like 1850 or $20, truthfully. Yeah, good. You guys excited? You've been excited over the past few weeks. You're going to get more excited over the next like couple weeks probably. The fireworks are about to fly. Like at this rate, you guys, I know it sounds crazy what I'm about to say. At this rate, and maybe it doesn't happen. I definitely believe that by the end of this year, we will be at new all-time highs for BCHG. And at the rate of growth we're seeing right now, it's completely possible that by like July, you're at new all-time highs, right? We're in March now, so April, May, June, July, like 4 months, right? Like a little bit over a quarter of a year. And maybe I'm underselling it, man. Maybe this thing, if BCH tears, dude, if it skyrockets, if BCH does some bullish things, you might be at new all-time highs by May or June, man. Things are about to get crazy. Things are about to get crazy for sure. That is a nice tear in your 618 area. The next targets would be 18, like mid $18 to $30, $31.50. You guys, this is more or less your immediate target zone. Probably by May, if not by June, you'll be up here. If not, sometime in April. Like it might happen way sooner than I'm giving it credit for. But I like to think things are going to happen later and be surprised when they happen sooner than expect them to happen sooner. And then, and I'm not just saying that I expect it'll happen later. Whenever really I think it's going to happen sooner. I think May, late April, sometime in May would make sense to me. But it can happen sooner, especially if Bitcoin Cash does some bullish things, you guys. Yeah, you're very overbought on your RSI, but guess what? You see your most bullish moves when you're overbought like this. So yeah, looking good, BCHG. LTCN, I think LTCN also looks good, doesn't it? Looks like I had some bullish projections on there. I like that you're above your 1272 for 2 weeks in a row now, even though you got below it last week. I like that. Yeah, you do have bearish divergence. It's printed, but if you get a green week next week, it's not confirmed. That's the thing. And LTC, kind of the same thing with BCH. It moved up after Friday. Friday it actually closed red, where now you're up higher than you were throughout that whole week. So I would expect LTCN moves up. It doesn't have to. Sometimes the Grayscale trusts do move down. And I think LTC is looking like it wants to make a move up as well, like continue higher. So I'm going to assume that LTCN, we're going up to 31.40, $39, $54, man. Anything and everything in between is absolutely possible. But first, I mean, to be fair, if you move up to 31.40, like LTCN might be making a move. You guys, it's crazy. We're at $25. We could be in the middle of a move right now. I mean, obviously we're in the middle of a move that's going to take us above $100, but I don't know. That just seems so far away. The main reason I'm saying this, the main reason why I'm giving that any credit is if we look at the price for what it's worth, okay? You look here, right? We're below this resistance point. We're like right at it. When we break that, where's the next place to go? It's like all the way up here. It's all the way right down here, right? Like previous resistance, previous support at $95. That's why I'm making those assumptions, because we essentially dropped ass right through it. We might just pitch a tent right through it, man. I don't know what phrase to use. If that's dropping ass, this is pitching a tent. High to low, 6.9 area, 7.86 area, sure. The only other thing that could stop you kind of in the midst of that would be, I mean, I just don't think you'll stop there. I don't like if you break through these highs, you're probably not going to get held up by these lows. So, at which case, I would think maybe the weekly closing high here or the weekly closing high here, somewhere like $58 to $75. which, hey, 2272-2618 right there. So yeah, maybe you do. Maybe stop at $58 to $76, somewhere in there. That's where I think you're going. In the more immediate terms, looking for that $30 to $40 range. But yeah, you're making a pretty sizable move up right now. You're probably going to see nice growth, and then you'll consolidate for a month or two again once you get up to $54 to $75, $76. Looking good. Looking really good. Looking super good. Good job to everybody holding Grayscale Trust, you guys. You guys are patient people. I know we were expecting lower prices down here, but I know a lot of you DCA'd. You bought some, you scooped some up. I know that I flipped bullish before we broke these highs, like somewhere down there. So everybody, anybody and everybody who has been holding for a long time, or whether you were like me and thinking it was going to go lower and you had to bite the dust on that one and buy it a little bit higher. Everybody's doing well right now, so except for the people on the sidelines. So if you're on the sidelines, it's still early. We're before the halving. It's not the ideal areas to buy, but man, if you don't like it here, you're gonna love it up here. You're gonna love it up here. You know what I mean? Like it's looking like it wants to run. They all kind of do. So my biggest advice for anybody that's on the sidelines is to not chase. If you don't buy now, and I'm not recommending anybody, none of this is financial advice, I'm not recommending that you buy now. Who knows? We genuinely could move back down here, or maybe not that low, maybe not in that amount of time, but you could move down to like $15 from here and still form this like higher low, like whatever. You never know. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I really don't think that's going to happen. We do have the bearish divergence formed. It is printed, but sometimes you get those prints and they're misprints. And if next week closes green, which I think it will, that would invalidate this bearish divergence. 100% it would invalidate this bearish divergence. And that does happen. That absolutely does happen. You can actually even see it here, man. Right here. Perfect example. Bearish divergence was formed. Oh, wait, nope. I'm sorry. I thought it was, but it's not. Never mind. Never mind. I'm wrong. Yeah, never mind. But it does happen. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, guys, I'm talking. I hope everybody is having a good day, a good time. If you are enjoying the markets, hit that like button. If you're enjoying the videos, hit that like button. If you're ready to enjoy them even more, hit that like button. And if you are sidelined and you're not involved, what I was trying to say, I got all distracted, is if this thing takes off without you, maybe look elsewhere. Look for something else. Maybe a native asset, maybe another stock, maybe another trust or something like that. Or get in up here and just accept that you missed prime buying opportunities, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that either, but my style, and again, none of this is financial advice, but my style, if I was trying to buy this and I'm being stubborn, let's just be blunt, being stubborn, and I'm expecting for prices to go back to $20 at least because it just sounds right, or $15 maybe because I heard some guy on YouTube say it could go to $15, who knows why I think it's going to go down, and I'm being stubborn and not buying. If this was me and then I saw it do this like by mid-May, I would probably just look elsewhere personally. That would be how I would handle it. I'd be like, all right, I missed the boat. I'm going to find something that looks like it hasn't taken off yet. Buy it in there. This other thing, maybe it looks like this, where it's accumulating and it looks like it wants to break. It's getting higher lows and it's got a flat top. I'd put my money in there. Maybe it goes up, and in the time it goes up, LTCN comes back down to an area that would make sense for support or something, and I could sell the gains and then rotate it in here. I won't be able to buy down at the lows I want, but hey, I'll have a little extra capital to kind of split the difference, if that makes sense. That would be my style if I couldn't let something like this go. But again, none of that's financial advice. That's just stuff to think about for anybody that, if you are on the sidelines and you're feeling that FOMO, which you probably should be feeling that FOMO, but it's a tough place to be in, man. It's really a tough place to be in. But absolutely, guys, I think this thing wants to go higher. Like immediately. And that's all I got for you. So hit that like button. Take care. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.